Hi.
Yeah, I was just wondering what she said because I knew that.
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Judge Kim Teresa Malika. You're here today in First Appearance Magistrate Court. Today you're going to be informed of the charges and we're going to determine if there's probable cause. Today is not your trial day. Please do not talk about the facts of the case. Everything's being recorded. You have a right to remain silent. You also have a right to an attorney. We have Mr. Romero at the main jail, and we have Mr. Reedy to my right in the courtroom, who are both from the Public Defender's Office. We have Assistant State Attorney Eric Lindner, and we have Tanya Davis as our clerk. First case, we're going to be doing the domestic violence docket to the end of the week for Judge Cohen. First case is Casey Westbrook, please.
Judge, she's approaching. Ms. Westbrook declined the services of public defender.
All right, good morning, Mr. Romero.
Good morning. She just changed her mind, Judge, so I needed time to talk to her.
No problem.
Where's she going?
Why don't we take a break and you talk to her, because we have the victim advocate here. So we have to
I'll help her since she
finish.
changed her mind, right?
Okay. Tell you what, why don't we go to North Broward? How's that?
It works.
Okay. Who's the next one on the list for North Broward? Pardon?
Miss Dillon, page 6, Deputy, if you have her.
Yes, we do.
Thank
Good
you.
morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, yourself?
Very good, thanks. All right, are you Shannon Dillon?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good morning, ma'am. You have two capious traffics, $50 bond each. One is pedestrian obstructing traffic and pedestrian obstructing traffic. Court finds probable cause for your arrest. Total bond's $100. You want to resolve this today?
She does, Judge, and she would also like to go to the CRC, so I'll be asking the court to ask for her to be transported to the main jail and taken to CRC at 9 o'clock tonight.
No problem.
I'd be looking for a time served offer on these two matters.
That would be
My first offense.
Hold on, Miss Dillon. Hold on, Miss Dillon.
I'm sorry.
not her first offense. The offer would be time served on each count.
Thank you, Mr. Linder.
I'm on the charge.
Is that what you want to do, Miss Dillon? Do you want to resolve your
Yes.
cases for time served and
Yes.
go to the CRC?
Yes, Brian Reed.
Okay.
I would.
All right. All right, so how do you want to plead, ma'am?
Guilty.
All right, adjudication time served, $293 in court costs.
Yes, Your Honor.
On each case, 6 months to pay, partial payments accepted. Did you discuss the driver's license suspension, late fee, and other matters, Mr.
No,
Reed?
but I just recently found out, and I'm trying so hard to get a job and become that productive member to society again, Your Honor. And it's time to wake up and grow up. I know.
Okay.
Well, yes, that is very well true, Miss Dillon, and I hope that's what you do, and hopefully they can help you out at the CRC and get you back on the right path, okay?
All right, so, ma'am, you have 6 months to pay the court costs. If you don't, they'll suspend your license, $25 late fee. It'll
I
affect your
think my
credit.
license is already suspended. It's not.
I have no idea. I'm just telling you with regard
They
to
said
this.
I already owe like
Miss Dillon,
$900.
Miss Dillon, Miss Dillon.
I'll find out. Thank you,
Miss
Your
Dillon.
Honor.
Well done, Miss Dillon.
Thank
Good luck.
you, and well done with you, and thank you, Brian Reed. Alright, I'm just excited and sick, and I need my SOIs and doctor's appointments. I've got appointments due on the 22nd, and excited. Alright.
Okay.
All right, good luck, Miss Dillon.
Thank you.
We also have Miss Kim Thomas on page 7, Your Honor. I'll be asking for an ROR on Miss Thomas.
Is this one yours?
All right, good morning, Ms. Thomas. You have possession of
Morning.
Clonopin, $1,000 bond, possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond, false ID given to a law enforcement officer, $100 bond. Court does find probable cause. Does she have a prior history, State?
She does, Your Honor. Showing she was arrested on a warrant July this year in the state of Massachusetts. Assault, 2013 in Massachusetts. Another arrest on a warrant, 2012 in Massachusetts. Multiple arrests for warrants.
All right, I'm not gonna put her on pretrial. What can she afford to pay for bond?
I really don't know, Judge. Her husband is also on this morning's docket. They were arrested together. He's the one who would be able to post bond for both of them if he's in a position to do it.
What's his name?
He's on page 17. His name is Daniel Vigliano.
How much money do you have in property, ma'am?
I don't have nothing. He's got a car. He's got my wallet. I got like $100 on me. That's in the car. I promise I'll show up for the court date. I'm not leaving.
Hold on,
Miss
Miss Thomas.
My
Miss Thomas. When she was arrested, Judge, the car was towed. Her phone was in the car, so she doesn't have any numbers of anyone that I can call to come post her bond. No, she doesn't know any numbers
It's all stored.
offhand.
Here's the issue I have. She has warrants out of state. This is a felony. And she has no ties to Florida, so.
I live with my son. I can prove that I live with my son, ma'am.
She does have a local address, Judge.
I'll come here every single day if I have to for a P test. I will do whatever it takes. I'm not leaving here. I will resolve this.
What's your address, Miss Thomas?
2892 Tennis Drive Court.
Tennis Court Drive in West Palm Beach?
Yes, West Palm Beach.
And that's where you live with your son?
Yes, and I just got a job at Burger King. I'll be here every day if I have to.
What's your son's phone number? Do you know it?
No, she doesn't,
I don't know.
Judge.
It's all in the car. It's all on my phone. My mom lives down here too. She lives in Arcadia, Florida. But I promise I'll be here every single day if I have to. If you demand me to come here, I'll come. And the warrant that's up in Massachusetts is for a fine, which I've already paid half.
Miss Thomas.
Sorry.
I mean, here's the thing. She's speeding through a school zone. She gave the officer a phony name.
I wasn't driving.
Miss Thomas.
She's buying, allegedly, crack cocaine. I mean, I'll do a GPS.
Hold on, Miss Thomas.
I'll do a GPS open schedule.
All right, the judge is going to let you out, but you're going to be on a monitor.
Okay.
And the problem is,
Oh, listen.
she's going to have to verify her address.
Okay.
She's going to have
How am
to,
I going to do that?
Miss Thomas.
Sorry.
you can explain it to her.
I will.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
All right,
Okay.
Deputy, if you could keep her there, I'm going to give her a call in a couple of minutes.
And Judge, whenever you're ready, I'm ready here at me.
All right, I'd like to take Daniel Vigliano on page 17.
You main jail.
Deputy McCoy,
Yes.
you can let her stand there so she can hear what's going on with her husband, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
But you don't comment.
No, I won't comment.
Yeah, just mute the mic, thank you. Thank you. All right, Mr. Vigliano, page 17, you have possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond. Drug paraphernalia, possess and/or use, no bond required. Unlawful speed in a school zone, not for magistrate. Failure to wear a safety belt, not for magistrate. Court finds probable cause. What say you, state? I mean defense.
Judge, right now I'm speaking Mr. Vigliano. I didn't pay attention because I was interviewing somebody else. I believe the co-defendant was addressed. What was the co-defendant's release conditions?
GPS open schedule.
Judge, that's the same thing we'd be asking for because I believe they're in a similar situation. My understanding is he's really, from what he told me, he's not in a position to post his monetary bond, and nobody's out there that can post a monetary bond on his behalf. Sure.
Well, how much money does he have in his property?
Judge, he's advised me that he has no money in his property, and unfortunately, the vehicle was impounded. He has a job, he's working, so his first paycheck he's going to go towards trying to get his vehicle out of the tow yard. But from what he told me, he has no money right now.
You know, and I will work with my wife. We want to be with the kids for the holidays, and we'll do whatever you want.
I don't know if, from what Mr. Vigliano has advised me, I believe this is his first arrest on a drug offense, Judge. I don't know if the state can confirm that, but he seems to indicate that he has a minimal criminal record.
He has priors. I wouldn't call it minimal. Yeah.
What does he have?
This is all again.
You know what? Give me that lady's number back. Paperwork. Say that again?
He said he had a felony in Massachusetts, but it was dated about 5 years ago.
Well, I don't know if that's dated, but... So what was it?
Scored. I don't think it's necessarily dated. 2013, destruction of property, breaking and depository, threat to commit crime, assault and battery, 2011. I can tell the court he's had a lot of arrests where there were unknown dispositions. We would have no objection, Your Honor, to release on the same conditions as his co-defendant.
All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a GPS open schedule, no alcohol or intoxicants, random testing at his expense, prescription medications allowed as prescribed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ms. Thomas, I'm going to do the same thing for you. No alcohol or intoxicants, random testing at your expense, prescription medication allowed as prescribed. If you violate, you'll be back here on a no bond hold. Thank you.
The only
Good luck, Ms. Thomas.
I'm allowed to do my Suboxone, right?
Whatever prescription medication you have, you can take.
Are allowed.
Okay, that is prescribed.
If you don't have a prescription for it, don't take it.
No problem.
Okay.
All right. All right, Casey Westbrook.
We're ready to go at Maine, Judge.
Thank you. Okay, good morning, Ms. Westbrook. You have possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, $100 bond. Count 2 is driving while license is suspended, first offense. Counts 3 and 4, unlawful speed, failure to wear a safety belt, not for magistrate. Counts 5 and 6 is aggravated stalking, domestic violence. The court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact with the alleged victims who have the same initials, TJL.
Actually, Your Honor,
Yes?
the listed victim in these cases is LL. Yes.
Why does it say Todd Justin?
Your Honor, these were not in custodies, and the officer listed both parties.
Okay, so give me their initials.
It's just LL.
One victim?
Yes, on both.
Okay, because it has 2 on the PC.
I know.
So then where do we get the 2 counts of aggravated stalking then?
Because it's 2 cases,
I see.
2 separate incidents.
With the same alleged victim.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, what's their first name?
Lisa?
Not Todd?
No.
Layford?
LaFond.
All right, what say you, State?
Your Honor, I provided the court with a copy of the injunction, just so the court does mention that Ms. Westbrook was present in court at the final injunction. She signed for receiving the injunction, was aware that she was not to return to this property and or have any contact with Ms. LaFond.
Okay.
I also provided a copy of the original petition, Your Honor. As you can see, this is ongoing. Ms. Westbrook has made continued threats and harassed this woman threatened both her and her husband. I'm going to be requesting on count 5, 1811886 CF10A, a $15,000 bond, and that involves the incident where she was captured on video driving to the home, almost striking the other person's vehicle, unprovoked, physically attacking him. Yes, while the child was present. Count 6, Your Honor, I'd be requesting a $5,000 bond. I would also be requesting pretrial release with a GPS monitor, level 2.
Okay. Okay, what say you, defense?
Judge, and speaking of Ms. Westbrook, I believe $20,000 is going to be financially impossible for her situation. She's 26 years old, been residing in our community for her whole entire life. She is working. She works for the Renaissance Hotel. She's been there now gainfully employed for about 2 months, making about $13.50. She is supporting her 3 children. She lives in Oakland Park with her mother. Her mother is a caretaker, and obviously that's the person she's going to be reaching out to pay her monetary bond. She believes because of holidays, with all the bills, the financial expenses associated with basically raising her 3 kids or helping in the raising her 3 grandchildren, she's not going to be able to afford the $20,000 bond, which the state is requesting. As you did point out, Judge, not in custody capias, I believe these incidents were basically over about a couple months ago. Since then, Judge, my understanding is there's been no further incidents. My understanding, Judge, is she has limited contact with the criminal justice system. No sort of felony violent offenses. She's a registered voter in our community. I'm going to be asking, Judge, because of her strong ties to the community, her lack of financial resources, I'm going to be asking for a $1,000 bond on count 5 and a $1,000 bond on count 6. I'd ask on the minor offenses, the cannabis, the driving, the court consider it ROR on her behalf. We would not object because of the allegations on 5 and 6 to standard pre-trial release, but the $20,000 simply is something that she cannot afford, Judge.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
What is your name?
James Jones from Out on Bail.
Hi.
Hi. I'm actually the relative in-law.
Okay.
So.
Of
Miss Casey Westbrook.
Okay. So is there anything you'd like to tell us, or?
I spoke to the family this morning, her mom, Aunt Vet, and she's trying to see if we can get her on pretrial. I know they don't have much money. So I know the $20,000 is way too high for her.
Well, the issue is these are really serious allegations.
I think the officer, he spoke to the mom and she couldn't make it in. While they was in the process of speaking with the detective or the officer at the time, the gentleman was calling her, and he told the mom to make the court aware that I wasn't there, so I'm just going off of what she explained to me. So I know they've been back and forth communicating.
I would just note in the petition, the sworn petition, it mentions there have been multiple threats to kill.
And it says the video shows LaFawn walking away from Westbrook's vehicle with his 2-year-old daughter the entire time, and the child was inside the vehicle the entire time during the physical incident. So.
Wasn't there, Your Honor, but I pretty much know her. She's not violent. I haven't seen her violent from the time. I know certain things when a relationship happens, you got to kind of get out of character depending on what happened from the past or what the other person is doing. So I'm not trying to make an excuse, but I know that's really not her character. So.
And the other issue is there was an injunction placed.
And that was with her and the mom at one time. Her and the mom couldn't get along, and I think the mom sought one. I don't know if the gentleman had one, but I was aware of the situation a little bit. And from what the family thought, that everything had subdued, and she stopped. Mother don't like the daughter, the girlfriend, that whole other thing.
State, anything further?
No, Your Honor, no.
All right, so court finds probable cause. Court's gonna order no victim contact with LL, minimum feet of 1,000. GPS level 2, no return to 1806 Northwest 36th Court, Oakland Park, Florida. Court is gonna do, on count 1 and 2, I'll do an ROR. Count 3 and 4 are not for magistrate. On count 5, I'll do a $10,000 bond. And on count 6, I'll do a $5,000 bond. Total of $15,000, no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons.
Your Honor, are you inclined to do 7,500 total for everything, or?
No. I'm sorry, based on the facts, I have a concern based on the facts of this case.
I mean, the GPS should suffice in her staying away from him. And I know she has enough family support to where if it's 5,000 and 2,500, you know. My concern is, I mean, I could do a payment plan, but they really don't have the means, so.
My concern is the level of violence in this case, and I mean, I'm sorry I made my ruling. I'm not gonna change it.
I
Respectfully.
respect it.
Okay, so it's $15,000, no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons, if any. She has to surrender within 24 hours of release. Anything further from anybody?
No, Judge.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor,
1,000 feet minimum from the residence and from the victim. All right.
Your Honor, if I may, you have, I know it's next on your docket, but he's second, Andrew Martin.
Okay,
He's right
give me
at-
one moment.
Okay.
Madam Clerk, if you could put these with that case,
Okay,
okay?
okay.
I'm sorry, which one is it? Andrew Martin?
Andrew Martin, he will be third, on your docket. I just spoke with his father, Henry.
Pardon?
His father, Henry. Oh, you the daughter and the mom? Oh, the sister? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just spoke to his dad, Henry. So he's trying to reach you guys. I guess you was in court. Yeah, so you can come up.
All right, Andrew Martin? Is that your name, sir?
Yes.
All right, what is your name? Speak into the mic, your first and last name.
Stefania
And,
Zapata.
I'm sorry,
Stefania Zapata.
spell your last name.
Zapata.
And you're the victim in the case?
Alleged.
Okay, what is your relationship to Mr. Zapata?
To Mr. Martin.
I'm sorry, Mr. Martin.
That's my boyfriend.
Pardon?
My boyfriend.
All right, can you speak into the mic? I want to make sure.
My longtime boyfriend.
Okay, thank you. And the two other people that are here?
I'm his sister,
Okay, your first and last name and spell your last name.
Shanika Autry, Autrey.
Okay.
Maiden name Martin.
All right, thank you.
I'm his mother, Julie O'Neill.
Okay,
That's my maiden name. I changed my name when I got a divorce.
okay, so it's Oneil?
Yes,
Thank
EAL.
you. All right. All right, so Mr. Martin, you're charged with touch or strike battery, domestic violence. We need to talk about bond. Count 2 is obstruct, deprive of means or communication. We need to talk about bond as well. Court does find probable cause. What say you, State?
Your Honor, I'm requesting a $5,000 bond on count 1, a $1,000 bond on count 2. This is based on the level of violence, the allegations that Mr. Martin struck the victim, punched her in the face with a closed fist several times. The officer, well, I also note out of the state of Kentucky, in 2015, he was arrested for domestic violence assault. I have no disposition. 2013, he was convicted of fleeing and eluding law enforcement out of the state of Kentucky.
Okay. All right, what say you, defense?
Judge, in speaking with Mr. Martin, I haven't had an opportunity to review the PC affidavit, but from all indications, I believe the alleged victim is here present, Judge. My understanding is she was trying to Judge, she was trying to speak with law enforcement and basically not wanting Mr. Martin to be arrested. I believe she was indicating to law enforcement that she was not in fear for her safety. She did not want Mr. Martin arrested, and I believe she's going to be in the future filling out a waiver of prosecution, presenting it to the state attorney's office, and hopefully the state attorney's office in return will opt to decline to proceed on these offenses. Having said that, Judge, he's 37 years old. They both live in Hallandale. He's the primary breadwinner of their family, Judge. He is working. He works at AMJ Campbell, where he's a licensed truck driver. He's been there for 1 year. Judge, my understanding is if the court does impose a no contact order, which we would not ask the court, but if the court does, he is in a position to live in a separate place, separate and apart from his girlfriend, but that will incur tremendous financial struggles on behalf of him and his girlfriend, Judge. My understanding is he appreciates his family being here for support. He appreciates his girlfriend being here for support. But Judge, we're going to be asking potentially on count 1 for minimal bond at this time. I did advise Mr. Martin today is not his trial date. He will have an opportunity in future, him and his girlfriend, to actually present the facts as far as what really happened. But I'd be asking on count 1 a $500 bond, count 2 a $500 bond, for a total of $1,000 on Mr. Martin's behalf.
All right, let me hear about your client's ability to pay the $6,000 bond.
Judge, like I said, he is a truck driver. His wages fluctuate. He said he can make anywhere from about $500 on a bad week to about $800 per week. And like I said, he's the breadwinner of the family, so that's his financial resources, Judge.
What kind of car does he drive?
I don't own a vehicle. Judge, I just found out right now he doesn't own a vehicle.
And how much is his monthly rent?
That he did tell me it was $1,200 per month, $1,200.
How much money does he have in the bank?
I have $500 in the bank.
Okay. All right, so would you like to tell me anything?
Yes, I would like to
Here,
ask.
wait, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
State your first and
Yes.
last name again. Spell your last name.
Stefania Zapata, Zapata.
Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask you for leniency. There was just an argument that blew up. Some of the facts in the police report are not true. My phone got broken by falling on the tile floor. We have tile in our house. So I would like at this time to ask for the second charge to be dropped. I don't know if that's something possible. It's just, blew up way out of proportions, and I never wanted for any of this to happen.
Okay.
I would, yeah.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
So today is not his trial day or to determine if the charges are going to get dropped. It's just to determine probable cause, which the court has found, which means on its face does it appear that this crime has been committed by him. And the second thing of it is his bond and release conditions. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else from anybody, his family?
Well, I'm just wondering if, me and my mother came all the way from Kentucky yesterday at a drop of a dime.
Did what?
I said we came all the way from Kentucky yesterday at a drop of a dime because this is not my brother, and I don't see my brother in this type of attire. I don't see him behind bars. He is a good man. He has a child. He takes care of his family. He does what he needs to do for his family. But I'm coming here today to try to get him out of jail today so he can get back to work.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And would you like to say anything, ma'am?
I'm asking for mercy on the court, Lord, for my son, like my daughter said and like Stephania said. And he has some of the money, and we do also.
Okay.
With us.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And the bondsman, do you have anything you'd like to say?
I just want to make sure that the main thing is to try to make sure his appearance will be back in court. I agree with the public defender trying to reduce the bond lower because of the hard times of the family, even though someone might have $500. I mean, they still have bills and everything else to pay. So from speaking to the dad and everyone, I know he didn't have too much money. I know he has a family to support as well. So if he can keep it low, I know the father would definitely appreciate it.
All right, this is what the court's going to do. The court does have concerns. He has a 2013 Kentucky case, no victim contact, direct or indirect, with you. No return, that's with SC, no return to 105 Northeast 12th Avenue, Hallandale Beach, Florida. He's gonna have to find another place to live. If he goes there, he is gonna be arrested. I am gonna do a GPS open schedule. I'm gonna do on count 1, a $2,500 bond, and on count 2, I'll do a $1,500 bond for a total of $4,000, so that's $400, okay? Thank you, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Your
He's
Honor,
gonna have to verify an address, yes, sir.
because I know they have a child that he did co-parent with her. Can they have contact via telephone for child purposes?
Your Honor, clearly there's family involved. I would ask that the contact be through third party.
Yes.
Well, I know they're in Kentucky, so it's not like they're here in Fort Lauderdale.
Here's the thing, I mean, it's a domestic violence case. It's gonna have to go, before Judge Cohen and let him, he's gonna have to resolve it. Or if it's the new judge, Judge Allspector.
Okay.
Okay, and also, sir, there's no possession of any firearms. Can I have that back for a moment? No possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. If you do have any, you're to surrender them immediately to your local law enforcement. And the public defender can file a motion today and get in there, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, everybody.
Two requests, Judge. One is, obviously, he's gonna abide by the court as far as no contact, but he needs to be able to retrieve some of his property. So could he go there for purposes with law enforcement to retrieve his property that he needs?
No,
So
let
that's
his
the first
parent, let
request.
his relatives go, and they're standing here in court. They can give him all he wants, all she wants to give him at this point, okay?
And our second request, Judge, as you heard, he is a license, he has his CDL license, he's a truck driver, been with the same company for 1 year. That requires him basically to drive from state to state. Judge, I'm asking you if you could downgrade the level of supervision from with the GPS to standard pretrial release, allowing him still the opportunity to work and still provide for his family.
What say you, State?
That's fine, Judge.
All right, so I'll do standard pretrial supervision. He's gonna report within 24 hours of his release. I want him calling in 4 days a week, reporting once a month in person. And I want him providing a schedule of him working out of state. I want it verified.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're welcome. Work purposes only. Jamie Gonzalez, please.
I believe this is Mr. Salazar's case, Judge. He was here yesterday, and I think he's going to be back here this morning, but he's not here yet.
All right, can we, what's his first name?
Michael.
Can we, do we have a number for him? I'd like to call him.
All right, let me.
Because we do have the victim advocate here. I'm not gonna have him sitting here all morning.
No problem, Judge, he's right there.
No, I'm talking to Mr. Reedy.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Do you want me to call him, or do you want to call him?
I'll call him.
All right, it's 954.
Thank you for offering, though.
No problem. 249 3193.
He should have been brought yesterday afternoon if he was booked in by...
Right.
Yes, Mr. Salazar, please.
This is he.
Hi, Mr. Salazar. This is Judge Malika in Magistrate Court.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
All right, you're on speakerphone. You're being recorded. I have Jamie Gonzalez in front of me. I don't know why they didn't bring him over. They should have. He actually was booked in yesterday at 8:06. They should have brought him in the afternoon. So,
right, that's when I came in yesterday, correct.
Yeah.
They didn't, Your Honor, because there's no domestic docket in the afternoon.
It doesn't matter. I'm still handling it, so they should, Eric,
Okay.
that's all I'm saying. It's magistrate court for 2 weeks. He should be brought over twice. So, in any event, we need to resolve this case. Are you in your office? Are you going to come here? Do you want to appear by phone?
If I could appear by phone, I'm actually walking to the courthouse now. I could be there. I just got to go through the metal detectors in 2 minutes, and I could be there
So
within 10
take your
minutes.
time, just as long as you come, here first, because we have the victim advocate here, but I don't mind. We'll wait for you, okay? But don't rush.
I'm on my way. I'm just.
Take your
Okay,
time.
thank you, sis. I'll be right
Thank
there.
you, bye-bye.
Thanks.
Okay, Edward Ellington.
He's here, present, Judge.
Mr. Ellington, good morning, sir. You have touch or strike battery, domestic violence. We need to talk about bond. We also have count 2, an out-of-state hold for a felony. That's failure to appear, a theft of property between 10 and 60,000, criminal impersonation, evading arrest out of a state of Tennessee. The court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials LM. What say you, State?
Your Honor, I'm requesting a $2,500 bond in addition to the no contact order. As you see, he has an out-of-state hold.
I'm sorry, how much?
$2,500.
Okay.
He has priors in addition to Tennessee, out of North Carolina and Georgia. And I'm showing.
And what are those?
One moment.
Okay, Madam Pretrial, do you have any of those orders? Okay, because I just don't want to forget what I'm doing, that's why. Thank you. All right.
His prior failures to appear out of the state of Georgia.
You need to put on here, prescription meds allowed as prescribed. Thank you.
07 battery. 07 terroristic threats. Interference with government property. And out of Broward 2013 Grand Theft Auto, he was sentenced to just under 42 months in state prison as a habitual offender. He was released October 20th, 2017.
Okay, what say you, defense?
Judge, considering this is a misdemeanor, albeit a domestic situation, my understanding is that the alleged victim moved out, so there's not going to be any sort of, opportunity as far as at this time Mr. Ellington having any sort of contact. He's 37 years old, been living in Florida the majority of his life. He is employed. He works at DAC Security. He's been there employed for 2 years and making $9.75 an hour. So considering count 2 is a no bond hold, I'm going to be asking for $1,000 on count 1.
All right, how do we know she left the residence? Where does it say that? She said she was in the PC. I'm just concerned because it says that there was a death at a family. That's what this all started. And she was getting money to go back to Georgia because of a recent death, but I don't think it says permanently. So, what say you, State? Do you want me to remove the no return, or?
Your Honor, I would ask that the court, at this point, issue the standard domestic violence, no contact conditions, and if that includes staying away from the residence at this point without further information, I'd ask the court to keep those in place.
All right, so you don't want me to say no return specifically, just no victim contact?
No, Your Honor, I believe no return is part of the standard release conditions involving no contact and domestic violence, and as you stated, without additional evidence before the court that she did in fact leave the residence, I'd ask that that condition be kept in place.
Okay.
Judge, my understanding is, I don't know if it's written out in the PC, but my understanding, she specifically said in front of the police, I'm going back to Georgia, I'm not coming back. Now, I don't know what was written in the PC affidavit, so I would say, Judge, if you went ahead and wrote an order as far as no contact, that should suffice as far as any concerns as far as the state or the court may have, because then it's up to Mr. Ellington. It's his responsibility not to have any sort of contact. If she's still there and he returns, then he's in violation of that court order.
And what happens if she's not there and she went back to Georgia and she intends on returning? Because there was a death in her family, then she can't come back in?
Judge, my understanding is it's his apartment and the lease is under his name.
All right, no victim contact, direct or indirect with LM, minimum 500 feet. No return to 1425 South 24th Street, Hollywood, Florida, minimum of 500 feet until further order of court. Let him go before his division judge and resolve it. Then I'm also going to put him on GPS open schedule. I'll do 1,000 on one. He also has an out-of-state hold for a felony, so he's not going anywhere anyway. Okay? Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. No victim contact. Okay, Mr. Salazar. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Did you have an opportunity to read it? We can pass it for a couple moments.
Couple moments, please.
Take your time.
Thank you.
All right, Clifton Jackson, please.
Mr. Jackson, come on up, please. He's approaching, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, good morning, sir. You have touch or strike battery, domestic violence. We have to talk about bond, possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond. Count 3, drug paraphernalia, possess and or use. The court does find probable cause. What say you, State?
Your Honor, I'm requesting a $7,500 bond on count 1, based not only on the level of violence alleged, but also the strength of the evidence that this incident was observed by an independent witness. Additionally, I have concerns that there's been a history of violence in this relationship based on the alleged victim's statement to the witness.
Which was?
When the witness went to the vehicle and observed Mr. Jackson punching the victim multiple times and telling him to stop, she was advised by the victim, "This is how my man loves me."
Okay. All right, so you're asking for no victim contact, direct or indirect. What other special conditions, if any?
No other special conditions, Your Honor, other than the standard domestic violence, no contact conditions.
Okay, tell me what they are specifically. I'm writing them down.
Well, Your Honor, they're contained in the no contact order that the court signs.
All right, so are you asking for, I just want to go through them. He's not signing it in person. That's why I'm doing this.
No, I understand. I don't know
So
all
tell me
of
what
them.
they are.
Well, Your Honor, you have them in front of me. I don't know all of them off the top of my head.
Okay, no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons.
Yes, please.
If any, you're to surrender them to your local law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Is there any no return date?
Your Honor, the listed residence is 5627 120th Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like North Unit 3
Okay.
in Royal Palm Beach.
Okay, what say you, defense?
I would initially say, Judge, before Mr. Romero addresses count one,
Sure.
count two appears to be a residue charge, which will probably just be filed as a possession of drug paraphernalia.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Reedy?
Not at this time, Judge.
All right, what say you, defense?
Judge, in reference to count two, considering the mitigating fact of the residue offense, I would ask the court to consider an ROR on Mr. Jackson's behalf. However, on count one, Judge, on the misdemeanor domestic violence offense, Judge, I'm going to be asking the court for a $1,000 bond. He is 43 years old, been living in South Florida his whole entire life. I did advise him as far as most likely the court is going to order no contact, so he does know about that. He's going to abide by that court order. They were residing together at Royal Palm Beach. He's going to be now residing with his aunt. His aunt lives in West Palm Beach as well. My understanding is she's retired, and that's the person he's going to be reaching out to help post his monetary bond. He is employed. He works for a company called Supa Mag. They paint wheels, and he just got that job 1 week ago. His first paycheck is going to be $232. So as you can see, he doesn't really have the financial resources to put up the $7,500 bond what the state has suggested, Judge. I'm going to be asking for a $1,000 bond on count one. I believe that his aunt will be able to afford that, and I will be asking the court to sign a property order so he can go back one time with law enforcement to retrieve his property from the location of where him and the victim were previously residing together.
Okay, he can arrange it through a third party to retrieve his personal clothing, personal health items, medication, business-related paperwork, and work tools, if in possession of the complainant. So, no victim contact, direct or indirect with TB, minimum 1,000 feet, no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. If you have any, sir, you surrender them within 24 hours of your release. No return to 5627 120th Ave in Royal Palm Beach, Florida, GPS level 2. No alcohol or intoxicants, random testing at his expense. Prescription meds allowed as prescribed. $5,000 on one, ROR on two, no bond required on three. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. And a minimum of 1,000 feet from the victim. Are we ready, Mr. Salazar?
Yes, good morning again.
Good morning. You're welcome, no problem. All right, so we have Jamie Gonzalez, please.
Michael Salazar on behalf of Mr. Gonzalez, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Gonzalez, you have ag assault with a deadly weapon, domestic violence. The court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victims with the initials AG, CNG, CJG, and ALG.
Judge, the first alleged victim is Mr. Gonzalez's wife. I have spoken to her in great detail. She's available by telephone if Your Honor is so inclined. She would ask that the court allow him to be, this is what she would ask, ROR. She's not in fear. No one's pressuring her. I do believe that since I've known the family, I've known the wife for almost 35 years, and I've known Mr. Gonzalez for over 20 years. So she's not in fear. She's doing it freely and voluntarily. The other, I've not spoken to the other alleged victims, however. He does have significant ties to the community. He's gainfully employed for, I would say, over 20 years. No significant or any police contact in over 20 years. And as a result, I would ask if the court would consider ROR or a small monetary bond amount. I have spoken to the family, and they could post possibly something small. When I mean small, I would say $1,000, Your Honor.
Well, the court has a lot of concerns just reading this probable cause affidavit. It says that he started banging on the door with a sledgehammer, breaking the door handle, while making threats he was going to kill her. And I'm not going to go on and on, but these are some very serious allegations. So what say you, State?
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting $15,000 bond and pretrial release with a GPS monitor. As you mentioned, he threatened multiple times to kill his entire family, 2 of which are juveniles, Your Honor. I have no reason to doubt that Mr. Salazar spoke with his wife.
Oh, I don't either.
And his wife may have expressed that she's not in fear. However, I have concerns for her safety. I have concern for the rest of his family's safety. I would note that the children felt the need that they had to protect their mother from Mr. Gonzalez.
I'm in agreement with the pretrial. The 15,000 is pretty steep. I know personally the family cannot post that amount. I would ask if the court would consider lowering the 15,000. Pretrial is we don't have a problem with that. No contact, I understand. I would ask the court to pretrial $1,500 bond, Judge. No contact, indirect or direct.
What's his prior charge date? I'm sorry.
It was in the mid-90s. It was a federal prior for manufacturing and distributing controlled substances. He was sentenced to 70 months in federal prison to be followed by 5 years supervised release.
I believe that's the last time he's had any law enforcement contact, Judge.
Okay. Okay, Madam Clerk, on this page, if you look at the second page of the PC, there's two other names, Cody Gonzalez and Alexa Gonzalez. Yeah. So it's Cody and Alexa, if you want to write it on there. Thank you.
Your Honor, I would also note, I just checked, the first thing I checked, the home that Mr. Gonzalez owns, the assessed value is over $500,000. It's just under 5,000 square feet. I don't think $15,000 is an excessive request considering the level of violence alleged and at least one of his assets.
Judge, that's an illiquid asset. The home has significant roof damage due to the hurricane. Mr. Gonzalez and Mrs. Gonzalez have a pending insurance claim that looks like we resolved. However, I understand what the state is saying. It's illiquid. I'm not sure how they're going to be able to tap into that.
What kind of car does your client and his wife drive?
That I don't know. Mr. Gonzalez, what kind of car does she drive?
My wife drives a 2018 Tiguan. It's a lease.
What is a T1?
I own. Tiguan, it's a Volkswagen Tiguan.
Okay, and what do you drive?
I drive a 98 Volkswagen Passat with 200,000 miles.
How much money do you have in the bank?
I don't know.
Approximately.
My wife handles that. I don't even ever take any money out of that checking account. It's hers. So you would have to ask her. I've never even looked into that bank account.
Just to let you know, Judge, the wife personally told me that if the bond was $2,500, she would not have the 10%, $250 to retain a bondsman. That's what she told me.
I'm showing Mr. Gonzalez as the registered owner of a 2010 Volkswagen.
2000 what?
10.
That's my daughter's Savannah Gonzalez. I don't drive that car. I drive a 98 Volkswagen Passat. Savannah Gonzalez drives the other one.
What does your client do for a living? I'm sorry.
He's a service advisor for
a large company.
For one of the local dealerships.
He's also a registered owner of a 2015 Volkswagen.
Okay. That's all my daughters. I don't drive those cars.
My point is, Your Honor, whether he drives it or not, he's purchased a 2000, he's a registered owner of 3 Volkswagens, 2010, 2015, 2018.
Okay.
Even with damage, a house over $500,000.
The 2000, the Passat drives my daughter, the Jetta drives my Lexi Gonzalez. I do not drive any of those cars. I'm also owner of a 98 Volkswagen Beetle that's sitting in my house that's worth $1,000. That's it. Those are the 2 cars that I drive.
Hence why they're not as liquid as you would imagine, Judge. Would the court consider reducing it to $5,000 with the pretrial?
No victim contact, direct or indirect, with AG, CG, CJG, and ALG. I want him to maintain a minimum of 1,000 feet. No possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. If he has any, he surrender them to his local law enforcement. I am going to do a GPS level 2. I am going to do no alcohol or intoxicants, random testing at defendant's expense. Prescription medication is allowed as prescribed.
Judge, would Mr. Gonzalez be allowed through a third party to go retrieve his personal items?
Yes, that's what the order says, absolutely. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a $10,000 bond on count 1. And the court does have concerns. That's why I'm doing the GPS, but I'll do an open schedule, okay?
I understand, Judge. Thank you very much.
Thank you, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge. Bye, Mr. Gonzalez.
Herman Burrows. Herman Burrows.
Present, Judge, you're approaching at the meeting.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, Mr. McLawrence, I have to finish the domestic, so if you want to go run somewhere else. Okay. All right, so Mr. Burrows, good morning, sir. You have a capious traffic, and then you have a domestic battery by strangulation.
Strangulation, who was that?
Judge, in reference to the second count, Mr. Burrows doesn't seem to know any as far as the facts or anything about that allegation.
All right, it says here that he got into an altercation and that he got behind her and wrapped with one of his arms around the neck, and he began choking her to the point of unconsciousness.
That happened on December 7th while they were doing drugs together, according to the police report.
Mm-hmm. Says he didn't observe any bruising to her neck. In any event, I am going to find probable cause. What say you, State?
Your Honor, based on his criminal history and prior violence, I'm going to be requesting a $10,000 bond, no victim contact.
Tell me what his prior history is, please.
2016, fleeing and eluding. 2016, strong-arm robbery, grand theft auto. He was sentenced in June of 2017 to 364 days in each case. 2014, aggravated assault against a law enforcement officer, battery against a law enforcement officer, resisting with violence, fleeing and eluding law enforcement, possession of cocaine, just over 21 and a half months in Florida State Prison. 2013, he pled a felony down to misdemeanor battery, and in 2012, he was arrested for domestic violence battery. It was dropped.
I would just point out, Judge, as the court has already noted, there were no bruises around her neck, yet she claims that she was choked to the point of unconsciousness and was unconscious for approximately 5 minutes. I find the physical evidence to be in direct contrast to her statement.
Okay. What say you, defense?
Judge, in speaking to Mr. Burrows, he's looking forward to having his day in court in count 2. He doesn't know anything about this. He's not even, from what he advised, he's not even in a dating relationship. He's homeless. He has no money in the bank, no sort of property. He's 26 years old, been living in Florida his whole entire life. He works when he can in landscaping, and if he manages to find employment, he gets paid daily, and anywhere from $60 to $70 a day. From what Mr. Burrows advised me, there's no way that anyone can post his monetary bond. Judge, Mr. Burrows is asking me to ask this court if you will consider releasing him on pretrial release so that he could fight these allegations from the outside. And that's what we are requesting. And we'd ask you to take into account my colleague's observations from the PC affidavit for mitigation purposes, Judge.
And she also waited a week before she went to the hospital.
He did observe redness to her right eye.
Yes, a week later.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows how that happened, quite frankly.
Or who knows what it looked like a week earlier.
And
Maybe
and any
not.
bruising and
We
any
don't know
bruising on
that.
her neck might have gone away in a week. You can have it both ways.
All right, so anything further?
Nothing else, Judge. He's just financially injured and he wants a pre-trial release.
No victim contact, direct or indirect with USB, and maintain 500 feet minimum. No return to 1924 Buchanan Street, Hollywood, Florida. No possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. If you have any, sir, you are to surrender them to your local law enforcement immediately within 24 hours of your release. I am going to do a GPS level 2. I will do a custody to a drug treatment program. Drug and or alcohol, I should say. That's something he does want to do. I am going to do, with the capias, that's operating, he was a no-show at arraignment. So the court's going to leave the $500 bond in place, do a $5,000 bond on count 2. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Eid Ayub.
Yes. And Your Honor, this is a perfection from yesterday. I left the, I provided you with a perfected supplement report and defense counsel.
All right, sir, you're charged with domestic battery by strangulation, dating violence. Yesterday, I found there was no probable cause. I gave the state 24 hours to perfect. I'm reviewing a reporting officer narrative that was provided to me. Court does find probable cause based on the narrative. What say you, or the supplemental? What say you, state?
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $15,000 bond, pretrial release with a GPS monitor, no victim contact. As mentioned in the report, Your Honor, Mr. Ayub was arrested October 9th of this year for domestic violence battery against the same alleged victim and on a violation of probation for felony credit card fraud. He pled out the BOP and received a jail sentence. The domestic violence battery was just dropped and he was released on December 11th. And now he stands before the court arrested 4 days later for allegedly committing a strangulation against her.
Okay, what say you, defense?
Judge, in speaking to Mr. Ayub, there's no way he's going to be able to afford the $15,000. He's 36 years old, been living here for the past 14 years. Unfortunately, at this time, he's going through very rough financial circumstances. Unfortunately, he's homeless at this time. From what he's advised me, there's really nobody here that could post his monetary bond. So he's asking to be released, pre-trial release, Judge.
Your Honor, and I apologize. Forgot to mention, because I had read the probable cause affidavit from the recent battery. I would also note similar allegations in that in both cases it's alleged that Mr. Ayub attacked the victim while she was driving their vehicle.
Yes. He's choking her while she was in the back seat and she was in the front.
And in that case,
swerve out of her lane.
And in that case, he was allegedly punching her while she was driving the vehicle.
And that case was dropped.
That's what he stated.
Okay. anything further?
No, Judge.
Mr. Romero, anything further?
He's just looking forward to his day in court. Judge, he's telling me he's never done that. That's why it was dropped, and he's just wanting to be able to be released today, Judge.
All right, no victim contact, direct or indirect with CAVD, maintain 1,000 feet minimum, GPS level 2. No possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons if there are any. Is to surrender to his local police department 24 hours of his release. Anything else, State?
No,
With
ma'am.
special conditions? All right, court's going to set a $5,000 bond on count 1. Thank you. All right, we're going to have to take a break. I have to go over these. All right.
Judge, on Mr. Burrows on page 3.
Is that one we did?
Yes, we did. Would the court consider, and Mr. Linder makes a good point, would the court consider removing the language about him going custody to a drug program?
Sure. No problem.
I have to take it off there.
I didn't even hear the point that you guys made, so where's the original?
Right there. It looked like it right there on the side.
Where is it?
That's not it flipped up.
No. That's the CRC order. Is it up there, right behind you? Behind you. It's not in there? Okay, on Burrows, I'll remove the custody to a drug treatment.
Our Spanish interpreter is here.
Okay. Do we have the original?
Some of these might be yours.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to translate from English to Spanish, Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I do. Good morning, Your Honor. It's Igor Felicioni, F as in Frank, Elicioni.
Okay, thank you. Want some water? Here. I have that effect on people. What can I say?
It's Mr. Echeverria.
Let me check.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. All right, so who is here today for the Spanish interpreter? What case?
Owner Echeverria on page 15 of your document.
I'm sorry, say the last name. You both were talking at the same time.
Echeverria.
E.
Echeverria.
All right, who else do we have for a Spanish interpreter? Anybody? Can you make an announcement? Anybody at the main jail to raise their hand?
¿Alguien aparte del señor Echeverría necesita los servicios del intérprete de español?
You see anybody raising their hand, Mr. Romero? You didn't turn around and look.
I looked at the monitor.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe there's people on the side. No? Okay. North Broward. Anybody need an interpreter? Thank you. Conti? Paul Ryan?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. Is this the only one?
Correct, Judge.
Thank you. All right. Are you Mr. Echeverria?
¿Usted es el señor Echeverría?
Sí.
Yes.
Sir, you have possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond.
Señor, usted no tiene un cargo de posesión de cocaína que conlleva una fianza de $1,000.
Possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less.
Posesión de cannabis de 20 gramos o menos.
Driving while license is suspended, first offense.
Y tiene también un cargo de manejar con una licencia de conducir suspendida, pero es su primer ofensa.
Court finds probable cause.
La corte halla que hay causa probable.
What say you, defense?
¿Qué tiene que decir la defensa?
Judge, if the state can confirm, I understand Mr. Echeverria, from what he advised me, he has a clean record, so we're going to be asking for an R1 on his behalf.
Excuse me, Mr. Romero, could you repeat that? I could not hear every other word you said.
My understanding is he has a clean record. If the state can confirm that, we'd be asking for an R1.
Su señoría, nosotros entendemos que el señor Echeverría tiene un registro limpio. Si la fiscalía pudiera confirmar eso, nosotros en este momento estaríamos pidiendo que el señor fuera liberado bajo su propio reconocimiento.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kristen Odijk on behalf of the state.
I'm sorry, spell your last name?
Odijk. And
thank you.
Buenos días, señoría. Kristen Odijk, en nombre de la fiscalía.
And that is correct, no priors.
Y eso es correcto, el señor no tiene antecedentes.
The state would be asking for a pretrial with GPS, no intoxicants.
La fiscalía en este momento pediría que él fuera liberado bajo condiciones estándar previas a juicio, GPS y no podrá intoxicarse.
Okay, ROR, thank you.
Ok, queda liberado bajo su propio reconocimiento. Muchas gracias.
Anybody else need the Spanish interpreter?
¿Alguien más necesita el intérprete español?
¿Alguien más solamente habla español? No one else here.
Thank you.
Your Honor, 1 second. This gentleman in the blue suit is Moises Hernandez. He's going to be one of our new Spanish interpreters.
Oh, good morning.
He's going to be joining the force.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Nice meeting you. See you soon. Okay. Cycloria Williams.
Mr. Williams?
No problem, Your Honor. She's a medical reset, please.
Resets go.
Helen Nixon.
Helen Nixon, bonded, Judge.
Thank you. Helena Rotondi.
She's here at Main, Judge. Come on up, Ms. Rotondi.
Main jail.
Come on up, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Rotondi, you are charged with touch or strike battery, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials KMW. What say you, defense?
Judge, my understanding, Ms. Rotondi has a clean record. If the state can verify that, we're going to be asking for an ROR on Ms. Rotondi's behalf, Judge.
State?
Your Honor, based on the allegations, we ask that the bond be kept in place and no victim contact.
Can your client afford a $1,000 bond?
She gave me the phone number of her sister, and I intend on contacting her afterwards. My understanding, the phone number she provided me is 540. I didn't ask a further question as far as where her sister located. If she's located outside the state of Florida, my understanding is bondsmen charge a higher premium, sometimes even charge the full amount. So that I didn't ask, Judge. I just asked who, if the court were inclined to an ROR, who could I potentially contact on her behalf to post her bond. Now, Ms. Rotondi is working. She works at the Rock Bar. She's been there for the past 3 years. She's 27 years old. I believe my understanding, the alleged victim is an acquaintance, and there's no sort of, Ms. Rotondi assured me she's not going to have any sort of contact. She's going to abide by the court's order. She will be coming back to court. She's not a flight risk. She lives locally here in Davie, but Judge, I'm going to be reaching out to her sister to see if her sister can post a monetary bond.
It does not appear that they're just
Can you talk into the mic?
It does not appear from the allegations that they're just mere acquaintances, and that's also part of the court's concern that they are really well known to one another.
They are. All right, no victim contact, direct or indirect with KMW, no return to Vixen's nightclub, 3050 Burris Road, Davie, Florida, $1,000 bond. Thank you. Stephanie Carnavale.
Paul Ryan, Your Honor.
Pardon?
Paul Ryan, Your Honor.
Paul Ryan. All right, ma'am, you have an ad charge, count 6. Or is this a change of charge? An ad charge for grand theft in the 3rd degree, $1,000 bond, court finds probable cause. What say you, defense?
Your Honor, Ms. Carnavale currently has a no bond violation of probation hold on count 4. Her public defender is Rachel Gilbert, who is aware of Ms. Carnavale's situation. I'd ask the court to leave the bond in place.
Okay, we'll leave the bond in place. Thank you.
Thanks.
Lacadia Polk. Do you want to come up for that one? Come on up, feel free. Come on up. I didn't see your name. Virginia, can you have them when they're finished? What page is this?
7, Judge.
Oh, you have it there? Okay, here you go. Why don't you take this so we don't have a bunch of them? Thanks. All right. All right, are you Miss Polk?
Yes.
I want to hear her say it. Are you, okay, thank you. All right, Miss Polk, you have some ad charges. They are burglary, unoccupied conveyance, unarmed, and grand theft between $300 and $5,000. Bond on count 3 on the grand theft is $1,000. Count 2, the burglary, we need to talk about bond. Court does find probable cause. Good morning.
Good morning.
And can I have each of your names?
I'm Leticia Adams, ADAMS.
Thank you.
And I'm Kiki Trias Tigner, TIGNER.
Thank you. And your relationship
I'm the
to
mother.
Ms. Polk?
I'm the grandmother.
Okay, thank you. All right, so is there anything you'd like to state to the court, or do you want to wait till everybody goes and then you can respond, or you can just be here for support?
On this second charge, because I was here personally yesterday, I don't know why they're doing it the way they're doing it, back to back. I would ask you if you would please just order her so she can come out of there. She's just 18. She just turned 18. She's not, she's not a person that goes out robbing people and stuff like that. She just took a ride from somebody, and because they couldn't catch the person who they was looking for, they charged her with this stuff.
Okay. All right, State, what say you?
Your Honor, the state's asking as to count 2 a $3,000 bond and as to count 3 a $1,000 bond and pretrial release. And so that Your Honor is aware too, the defendant is on probation in the juvenile court for grand theft auto.
She is on juvenile probation?
Yes, Your Honor. She appeared before the court yesterday on grand theft auto, at which point I advised you of the case she's on probation for, and that was a separate incident than these alleged vehicle break-ins. That's why you kept the $1,000 bond in place and also placed her on pretrial.
Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials NO. And no return to the victim's residence. What say you, defense?
Judge, we're going to maintain our same position. My understanding, as you recall, we were here yesterday. You heard from the family as far as their basically lack of ability to really afford any sort of financial bond. You heard from the family, I believe, when they were discussing the facts that Ms. Polk basically accepted a ride. And unfortunately, she got caught up with the wrong crowd. I believe you addressed that by imposing a curfew with pretrial release, and you imposed, I think, $1,000 bond. Judge, I don't think her financial resources has changed from yesterday. She can't afford much of a bond. I believe the family are going to barely be able to afford the bond that was that was set yesterday. So considering that the court imposed pretrial with the curfew, I'm going to be asking the court to set those as the terms of her release, Judge.
All right, pretrial, what was her curfew? Do you remember?
7:30. You said 7 a.m. and to 7 p.m.
No, 8.
Yeah, to 8 p.m. 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Is she still in school?
Okay. Here you go. And GPS or?
She's supposed to call in once she's released.
Ma'am?
And then twice.
Can you just wait until I'm finished? I'll give you the opportunity to speak again, okay?
Standard pretrial calling in twice a week with curfew 8 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Okay, what say you, State? Do you just want, you have anything further?
No, Your Honor.
No standard pretrial on this?
Your Honor, we would be asking for the same pretrial that you placed on that.
All right, anything further?
Well, just, I wanted to get out of there so she can go back to school like she should be going to school. She just turned 18 on the 2nd of December.
Okay. Anything further from anybody?
No, Judge.
No victim contact, direct or indirect with NO, and no return to NO's residence. Standard pretrial supervision, same as count 1 from yesterday. Curfew 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. I am going to do a $1,000 bond on count 2. And count 3, I'll leave it as $1,000 as well. You're going to have to pay a bondsman $200. Okay?
You can't OR her on that.
No, ma'am. Sorry. She has a juvenile history, and now she's an adult doing the same thing, so I apologize, but that's my ruling. Thank you. Stephanie Mack.
Ms. Mack is approaching, Judge.
Okay, good morning, Ms. Mack. You have grand theft between $300 and $5,000. $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no return to Coles at 12200 Miramar Parkway, Florida.
Yes, ma'am.
If you go back there, you will be arrested. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What say you, defense?
Judge, Ms. Mack is 59 years old. I'm going to ask the state to confirm if she has no prior record. If not, if that turns out to be true, we're asking for an RO on her behalf.
Your Honor, the state would have no objection to pretrial.
Does she have priors?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, then the court will ROR, no priors. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Show up for court. No return to Coles.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Catherine Tubner?
No problem, Your Honor.
North Broward. Good morning, ma'am. You have possession of cocaine, possession of heroin, $1,000 bond each. Count 3 is drug paraphernalia, possess and or use. $100 bond. Count 4 is not for magistrate. Disobey a stop or yield sign. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, count 1 appears to be a residue charge as to the possession of cocaine. I imagine that will ultimately be filed as a possession of drug paraphernalia. Excuse me, Judge. Is your mic on over there?
It's the main jail it's on. I hear Hector.
As I was saying, Judge, count 1 is a residue charge. I believe that will ultimately be filed as a possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to be asking for an ROR from Ms. Tubner. I don't know if the state has an objection to that.
Your Honor, the state would have an objection to ROR and would ask the court to place this defendant on pretrial.
Judge, she's been living here since 2006.
Let me just ask a question. What's her priors?
She has a 2013 cannabis. and a 2009 DUI that was broken down to a reckless, Your Honor.
Okay, ROR 1 through 3. Thank
Thank you, Judge. Make sure you come back to court, Catherine.
Okay, thank you.
Julia Query, yes, ma'am.
Paul Ryan, Judge.
Paul
She
Ryan.
wants to know if her bond has been posted.
Julie Ann Query, Query. All right, ma'am, good news, you bonded, thank you.
I'm going to call Nicole back and let her know.
Thank you.
Allison Tanaka, is that it for Paul Ryan?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, see you later then.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Allison Tanaka, please. This is one, I believe. North Broward? Yes? What? Oh, okay, Danny Walden, okay.
Yes.
Allison Tanaka.
Medical reset.
This has been a medical reset for 4 days now, all right. Thank you. Chadwick Curry.
Mr. Curry is here at Maine. Come on up, Mr. Curry.
Okay, Maine Jail. Mr. Curry, good morning, sir. You have a capious traffic for operating without a valid license. $1,000 bond from Judge Fishman. Court finds probable cause for your arrest. Does he want to resolve it?
He does.
State, do you have an offer?
Offers of withholding court costs this evening.
Withholding court costs $293. Make sure you explain to him what happens if he doesn't pay the $293 within 6 months, Mr. Romero. Is that what he wants to do?
He wishes to accept the state's offer, Judge.
Did you explain to him what happens if he doesn't pay the $293?
One moment, please.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, how does he want to plead?
What do you wish to please, sir? No, Judge.
All right, withhold court costs $293, 6 months to pay, partial payments accepted. Court takes judicial notice of time served in the Broward County Jail. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Bless you. Robert Figueroa.
Mr. Figueroa is here at Maine. Mr. Figueroa, come on up, please.
Morning, Mr. Figueroa. How you doing today? All right. All right, you have trespass after warning or structure. All right, court finds probable cause. Court's going to order no return to the Wells Fargo 2510 West Broward Boulevard. What say you, defense? $100 bond.
Judge, Mr. Figueroa is homeless. He's 57 years old. From what he's advising me, he wishes to resolve this case. And also, I did talk to him about the centralized receiving center. He is interested in using their services.
All right, so he wants to resolve his case?
Correct.
State?
Time served.
Adjudication, time served, $293 in court costs. Let me know that you explain to him the ramifications if he doesn't pay the $293. Within 6 months, I'll allow him to make partial payments. And after that, tell me how he wants to plead.
Judge, I did explain it to him, and he wishes to plead no contest.
You can stand there. Mr. McLawrence, go ahead. All right, adjudication time served, $293 in court costs, 6 months to pay, partial payments, no return to Wells Fargo, 2510 West Broward Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
And Judge, you'll sign an order allowing him to receive the services central.
Sure, as long as Mr. Reedy fills it out, no problem.
Doing it right now.
Thank you. Anthony Warren.
Good morning, Judge Jar McLawrence on his behalf. He's on page 10 of the docket.
Thank you, Mr. McLawrence. Where is he?
He's at the main jail.
Thank you. Okay, good morning, Mr. Warren. How are you?
I've had better days, but good morning.
Okay. So you have a capious misdemeanor for soliciting and display on public right-of-way.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me a moment. Steve, is there any way you can tell me his priors?
What is this?
This is
Anthony Moore.
Anthony E. Warren, W-O-R-N.
He's been to state prison. I don't know if you need more than that.
How about prior cases like this one, solicitation?
He's picked up on municipal ordinances March of this year. Resisting without violence in February.
What did he go to prison for? Theft, drugs, robbery, burglary?
Grand theft and burglaries.
Okay, what are we doing here, Mr. McLawrence? Apparently he's on Federal Highway and Southeast 17th Street, panhandling.
Judge, Mr. Warren wants to resolve this matter. I did tell him, I did talk to him about my theory that this ordinance is unconstitutional. He told me that he's not worried about that. He just wants to resolve this matter. And he told me also that he's homeless. And I discussed the Henderson CRC with him, and he told me he's interested in receiving services at that facility.
All right, what about not returning to 17th Street and Federal Highway?
He recognizes that he can't go back there, and he can't, he won't be panhandling. Is that right, Mr. Warren?
Yes, sir.
All right, how does he want to plead?
No contest, Judge.
No contest.
I'll do an adjudication time served, $78 in court costs. No return to 17th Street and Federal Highway, Fort Lauderdale.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does he want to go to the CRC, or are you doing an order?
Yes, Judge, I just filled it out.
Thank you.
Question?
Sure, sir.
Will I be released today, or do I gotta wait for these people?
You'll be released today, 9 p.m.
All right, thank you.
All right. Did you tell him what happens if he doesn't pay in 6 months, partial payments?
I did, Judge.
Thank
We
you.
had a discussion.
Just wanted to make sure.
Donald B. and Cooley is next.
Okay, give me a moment.
No, I'm just saying it for the jail purposes, Judge. He was in the back.
Okay, if you could give me a moment. Troy Tetrol.
He's here on the Hollywood.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna. All right, Mr. Tetrol. Mr. Shade will be here at 1 o'clock today, so we'll reset you to then, okay? We'll see you at 1 o'clock. Thank you. Yes. Or what? Who's the next one?
I have Donald B. and Cooley. He's in the main jail on page 11 of the docket.
Okay, page 11.
And He's here on a county ordinance
Okay,
for sleeping on a bus bench.
okay. Do you have the PC?
I do, Judge.
Okay, Donald Biancoli. Thank you.
He was in one of the holding cells, Judge, in the back. So.
Judge, I believe he's in the restroom. Right now, the deputy's going to see if he's there.
All right. All right, so then we'll take the next person. Anthony Warren, please.
You just did Mr. Warren.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mr.
There's Leroy Mischeck, Judge, on
Yes.
page 13.
Yes.
He's at North Broward. I was informed that his case is now proceeding before Judge Evans because the city is filing information in his matters, so it's proceeding now before Judge Evans, Judge.
Okay, where is he?
He was sent to Judge Evans this morning.
I thought he was under quarantine yesterday. All right, so let's reset him because it said 12/19. So let's reset him for tomorrow. Yes?
I just wanted you to know that the information, the city filed the information, so Judge Evans saw him today, I believe, for an arraignment, or he was supposed to see him today for an arraignment.
I know, but I have to magistrate him.
Okay, okay, Judge.
Okay?
Yes.
So let's reset him. We can do it for 1 p.m. today if you want to try, or tomorrow, up to you.
Tomorrow is fine, Judge.
All right, let's reset him for tomorrow.
And Mr. Bianculi is here, I think.
Leroy Mischeck.
I'm sorry,
on
5
page
people
13.
are talking to me. What? This one I put the reset, Mr. Leroy Mitzik. Okay? I'm sorry, what did you say, Mr. Romero?
Mr. Bianchuli's here.
Thank you. Okay. All right, so Mr. Donald Bianchuli, is that your name, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good morning. You have a violation of a Broward County ordinance. You were sleeping.
Your Honor, can I resolve this, please?
Yeah, Mr. Bianculi, just let the judge speak. Remember what we spoke about when I just met you in custody?
Oh, there you are.
Okay.
I'll find you.
All right. All right, I don't mind resolving this, but if he doesn't have a place to live.
I got a place to go.
Where?
My uncle's house in Miami. His name is Uncle Johnny.
Okay, I'll do an adjudication, time served, no return to the bus stop pavilion located at 4003 West Oakland Park Boulevard in Lauderdale Lakes.
Yes, ma'am, I got you. I'm not going near that place no more. I'm not going near that bus stop no more. That's it. I'm done. They gotta have that bus stop.
How does your client want to plead?
Mr. Bianculi, what's your plea to the judge? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I didn't hear. Wait.
Is your plea to the judge guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest. There's too much noise.
Okay, adjudication, time served. $78 in court costs, 6 months to pay. Partial payments accepted. No return to the bus stop at 4003 West Oakland Park Boulevard.
Ma'am.
Stop speaking, Mr. Bianculi. Just listen.
Yes, sir.
I can't go near Burger King, right? I go inside Burger King and get something to eat, right? I can't hang out at the bus stop, right?
I'm telling you not to go near the bus stop at 4003 West Oakland Park Boulevard, Lauderdale Lakes.
Oh, I know where that is.
All right, thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Welcome. I'm going home.
going home. I thought he said he's going to his uncle's. Are you gonna? Okay, is that it, Mr. McLawrence? Okay. Corey Halber.
Medical reset, Your Honor.
Okay, from where?
North Broward. We had a lot of them today.
Should we reset some of them for 1 p.m.?
Soon you reset them tomorrow, Judge. If there's a reason they can't come this morning, it's probably not going to change between now and this afternoon.
Deputy McCoy?
Yeah, excuse me, I would agree with that because a lot of them are coming in and they're kind of, we got to come down a little bit.
Well, we'll see tomorrow.
Okay.
Jesse Ferguson.
Medical reset as well.
Richard Wesley. Richard
Wesley is here at Maine, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Wesley.
Good morning, Judge.
You have a capious misdemeanor $1,500 bond for a battery. Court finds probable cause. You'll see your Judge Mindy Solomon tomorrow at 9 a.m. Thank you. Emilio Garcia.
Bonded.
Okay, we're going to take a little break. Thank you. Are you here on Danny Walden? Come on up, I'll call it out of turn for you. You've been sitting there patiently. Thank you for your patience. Okay, page 14, Danny Ray Walden. Okay, sir, you have DUI, alcohol, or drugs, fourth or subsequent offense. Refusal to submit to a DUI test. Court does find probable cause. What say you, state?
Your Honor, the state's asking for a $10,000 bond in this case, plus pretrial with a TAD monitor, no alcohol or intoxicants, random testing, and no driving.
Okay, what say you, defense?
Judge, Mr. Walden at this time isn't going to be able to afford the $10,000. He was employed. He was a driver for Lyft. That's not going to be basically an option right now if the court imposes no driving. He's 46 years old, been here in South Florida for the past 30 years. Right now he does rent a room in a house that he's been living there for about 3 years in Miramar. Monthly rent is approximately $400. From what he advised me, he cannot afford any sort of monetary bond. So we're going to be asking the court to release him on no monetary bond with what the state recommended as far as pretrial release or with the TAD monitor. And at this time, no objection to what the state's requesting as far as the additional release conditions, Judge.
All right, anything further, state or defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Good morning, ma'am. What is your name? And your relationship to Mr. Walden?
Well, he was a tenant with me first. Then he lost the apartment because of, and then he was homeless, and I have to take him in and try to help him. And my husband tried to help him because he's a good person. I mean, I know that. My husband knows that. We're just trying to help him. So I'm here to see if I could get him out, because he has, a job to do that he was doing.
The lift?
No, he was doing that. Plus he had something. I only have pictures to show. He's trying to make some pots, whatever. They did come out good and everything together. And
do you know what he earns doing that?
Well, he just started that. The lift sometime he makes $80 a day or something like that. But he just had his car fixed Friday for $460, and then right now he pay everything that he owes. Not, he owes me, but that's okay right now. But if he comes out, I know he could help himself, and pay the bills that he owes right now. Because I don't have to charge him for rent because he doesn't have a room. He's staying in my living room.
What year is the Ford Escape?
I don't know, but I know. It's 2016, I think. Yeah. 2016, I think.
Pardon, Mr. Romero?
2010, I'm being informed, Judge.
Right now, he does not have a room. We're just trying to help him. As soon as he catch himself, then, he'll get someplace to live.
Do we have any TAD monitors? Can you check, please? All right, so the court finds probable cause. The court's going to order no alcohol or intoxicants, random testing at your expense. Prescription medications allowed as prescribed. Pardon? You want me to say it again? It's not a problem. Okay, no alcohol or intoxicants, random testing at his expense. Prescription medications are allowed as prescribed. This is a fourth or subsequent DUI. No driving until further order of court. I am going to do his TAD monitor. I am going to do standard pretrial supervision. If you could hand him a map, Mr. Romero, he has to report within 24 hours of his release. So if he's released 2 in the morning, that means if you're released 12 o'clock at night or 1 in the morning, that means you need to report by tomorrow. They close at 5, but you have to be there by 3:30, 4 o'clock the latest. Otherwise, they won't take you. They close the door. And you'll be in violation of the pretrial order, and you'll probably be on a no bond hold. So it is important that you get over to the pretrial service office. So no driving until further order of the court. TAD monitor, I want you calling in twice a week, reporting 1 time a month in person. You'll have to report after you go to your court dates. If you're not required to appear and you don't go to court, you don't have to go to pretrial services. Court is going to order you to do 90 meetings in 90 days. Within 48 hours of your release, they're to begin. Court's going to do a $5,000 bond on count 1. No bond required on count 2. That's an NC. So total is $500 in bond that someone's going to have to pay before they'll let him out of jail. So, do they have TAD monitors? All right, that's okay. Okay, all right, so have a seat. We'll find out how many TAD monitors they have, because that'll tell us a little bit more. So once we find out, can you let me know? Just have a seat. We'll be back to his case in a moment, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Joseph Zamd, Z-A-M-D. Here you go, Virginia. Mr. Zamd, you have a capious misdemeanor $500 bond.
She here for him?
This is for a petty theft between $100 and $300. You failed to appear on November 8th, 2018. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Posting his bondage.
Pardon?
He's going to post bond.
Okay. Thank you. Gurdon Cunningham, please.
Bonded.
Court finds probable cause. Thank you. Come on up. Hello.
It's page 18 of Your Honor's docket, Anthony Rios, who's sitting in the back row there. Anthony, you want to?
Anthony Eric Rios. Good morning, Mr. Rios.
Morning.
Judge, Mr. Linder has graciously agreed, pending Your Honor's approval, to a $500 bond on count 2.
All right, so let's just go through this.
Sure.
Mr. Rios, good morning, sir. You have possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, no bond required. You have possession of THC, $1,000 bond. What's his priors look like, state? He does? All right, and you're saying 500?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, no problem. Per state and defense, $500 bond.
Okay.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank
nice
you,
seeing you,
Linder.
Mr. Glasser.
Thank you. You too as well. Have a good holiday if I don't see you.
You too.
Thanks. Thank you, Brian, for calling us.
Raul Capote. Where is he? Lionel Pratt. Lionel Pratt. Thank you. Elvin Ortiz.
Mr. Ortiz, come on up, please.
Sir, you have disorderly intoxication, public place causes disturbance, resisting an officer, obstructing without violence, $100 bond, trespassing, unoccupied structure or conveyance. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no return to the food store at 5400 South State Road 7 in Hollywood. If you go back there, you will be arrested. Do you understand, sir?
I do.
All right. What say you, defense?
Nothing at this time, Judge.
Is he going to pay? Who's going to pay his bond?
I'm going to contact his mother.
All right. What's his prior history, State?
He's out right now in career criminal court for burglary of a dwelling, occupied, grand theft, criminal use of personal identification information, possession, stolen credit card, resisting without violence.
All right. Thank you. Good luck to you, sir. Tedrick McClover.
Looks like he bonded, Judge.
Thank you. David Bozeman, please.
Medical reset out of North Broward.
All right. Here's another one. He's being held on a $25 bond. I mean, I'm inclined to ROR him. That's what the court's going to do. Thank you. Yep. David Rice.
No problem.
Good morning, Mr. Rice. How are you?
I'm okay, ma'am. Thank you.
You have a burglary, unoccupied dwelling, change of charge. Court does find probable cause for your arrest with the capias. I don't have any paperwork on this case.
Your Honor, it's a change of charge. He was originally arrested for burglary of a dwelling November 11th when the victim was present. Judge Murphy set a $2,500 bond. He posted bond and was released November 15th. He was then arrested November 16th on new charges: burglary with assault or battery, stalking, burglary of an occupied dwelling, and stalking. In all those charges, it was the same alleged victim as the victim in this case. He's being held on a total bond of $70,000 on those charges. And the state also has a motion to revoke bond on this case scheduled to be heard by Judge Bober tomorrow. Your Honor, based on the totality of the circumstances, considering all these cases involve the same alleged victim, we'd be requesting that you set the $2,500 bond back in place.
I don't think it's going to make a whole lot of difference because Mr. Rice indicated to me that it's going to be impossible for him to post the $70,000 bond, and as the state noted, he has this hearing tomorrow. I'd ask the court for a $1,000 bond.
Your Honor, if anything, the circumstances have been aggravated by his rearrest for committing these offenses against the same alleged victim, not mitigated. Actually, a day after being released from the jail.
Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials DMG, and to maintain 500 feet at all times, minimum. No return to 367 South Federal Highway, Deerfield Beach, Florida. GPS level 2, $1,000 bond. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Pardon? You can ask the public defender. He'll be able to tell you. Thank you. Okay, did we find out anything about Mr. Walden? Okay. All right, let's call Mr. Walden back.
He's approaching.
All right, so he has to report within 24 hours of his release. So this is what has to happen in order for him. Come on back up, ma'am. So someone's going to have to pay his $5,000 bond, which essentially means someone's going to have to pay 10% to a bondsman before they'll release him. Okay, so it is going to cost you, if you go speak to a bondsman, tell him his bond's $5,000. Once that's paid, then he will be living with you. Okay, what's the address?
2700 Canal Road.
Canal?
Yes, Miramar, Florida.
Is there an apartment?
No, it's a house. 33025.
All right, I'm going to change his address to be updated to that address. He's going to live with you? Okay, well, you do have a choice. But you're saying he's going to live with you?
I'm trying to help him, yes.
All right. All right, so can you tell me your first and last name and your phone number again? So pretrial, if you could take note of this, and his address is verified. Pretrial? Okay, so just have a seat. She'll come over and talk to you, okay?
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
So the address is verified, and there's enough attached, Mr. Romero. So that won't hold him up. So as soon as the bond gets posted, then they'll bond him out of jail, okay? Okay. Does he have your number to call you to pick him up? Oh, yeah. He knows it by heart? All right, good. Thank you. Good luck to you. Thank you. You're welcome. Modesto Guzman.
Mr. Guzman is approaching, Judge. Come on up, sir.
Pardon? Yes.
Okay.
Everything's on there.
Okay.
Thank you. Hold on one moment. All right, Richard Perdomo. I'm sorry, Modesto Guzman. My bad. Okay, Mr. Guzman, is that your name, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you have some ad charges. Count 2 is a warrant, VOP pretrial, felony, not for magistrate. You're going to be held no bond. It says you failed to return at home at your court-ordered curfew, 7 a.m. You returned at 1:51 a.m. and left p.m. and left again at 2:23 and failed to return. You have burglary, occupied dwelling unarmed, taking out the across county state, yes?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. And count 4 is grand theft, first degree, $100,000 or more. What say you state with regard to that?
Your Honor, with regard to the grand theft, the state believes that it's grand theft of the third degree, since according to the PC, the Honda string trimmer is valued at $450.
Do you agree with that defense?
The state took the words right out of my mouth, Judge. Yes, I do.
All right. So we'll make, just for the time being, a $1,000 bond on 4, which is the convenience bond. What say you, state, with regard to count 3 and any other special conditions?
Your Honor, with regard to count 3, the state's asking for a $25,000 bond plus standard pretrial with a GPS monitor.
Okay, why a $25,000 bond?
Your Honor, currently this defendant is on juvenile conditional release for 3 counts of burglary dwelling and 2 counts of grand theft. And he was previously in a lockdown program in juvenile court.
Okay.
According to the probable cause affidavit, Mr. Guzman is not the one who went into the house, Judge.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that bond is excessive based on his level of participation in the offense. And of course, he's got the no bond hold on count 2, so it might be academic.
Your Honor, he was clearly acting in concert with his co-defendant. Their intent was one and the same. His job was acting as a lookout to make sure that his co-defendant could successfully burglarize the home.
That's what it says. Here, the defendant was acting in concert with the co-defendant as a lookout. Anything else, defense?
I do realize he's being held no bond on count 2. He's 18 years old. He's unemployed at this time. He lives with his grandmother in Margate. She's not working. So, Judge, I'd ask you to take that into consideration in determining a reasonable bond on count 3.
No victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials CAM. And no return to 1855 North State Road 7, Margate, Florida. And I want you to maintain 1,000 feet minimum from CAM, the alleged victim, and the residence. Court's going to set $7,500 bond on 3, and on count 4, court will leave the $1,000 bond in place. Anything else? Thank you. Richard Perdermo.
Perdermo?
Oh, thank you. Mr. Perdermo, you have counts 1, 2, and 3, violation of pretrial felony, not for magistrate. You do have a capious misdemeanor. Or driving while license is suspended. Court does find probable cause. Court will leave your bond at $500 on count 4. You'll see Judge Solomon tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Good luck to you, sir. Does he need to be medically screened?
Are you in medical right now? Yes. He's in medical right now, Judge.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good luck. Hope you feel better. Yusuf Limbero.
Mr. Lambert? Yes.
All right, Mr. Limbero, you have violation of community control, no bond hold. And then you have a capious misdemeanor. You are going before your judge, Ken Gottlieb. That's resisting or obstructing without violence, $500 bond. Court finds probable cause. You'll go to Judge Coleman tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. on the violation of the community control on the KPS misdemeanor. You'll go before Judge Gottlieb on the 20th at 9 a.m. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Next one's going to be Stanislav Guzinski.
Sure, man. Sorry, Your Honor.
Good morning. You have counts 1 and 2, warrant violation of pretrial, no bond, not for magistrate. Count 3 is a municipal ordinance, $150 bond. Count 4 is a capious misdemeanor, $50 bond. Count 5 is a capious misdemeanor for $100 bond. Trespass, trespass, and trespass. So this is what I'm in littering. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to reset you for 1 p.m. today. Mr. Shade will be in then. He'll represent you on them. We'll see if maybe we can resolve them or maybe you don't want to resolve them. Okay? Thank you. Antoine Green. Come on up, Mr. Green. You have driving while license is suspended, third or subsequent offense, $750 bond, expired motor vehicle registration over 6 months. First offense, not for magistrate. You do have a no bond hold for probation or community control violation. You are going before your division judge, Tim Bailey, tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to leave your bond at $750. No bond on the other count. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. I have next person, Jaron Antonio Thomas. I was provided a corrected booking report. What? All right, give me a moment. So, Mr. Thomas, good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
You have possession with intent to sell, manufacture, or deliver cocaine, not codeine, as it states on the cover. Is it codeine or cocaine? See, it appears to be cocaine. Okay, so I'm going to change codeine to cocaine. Any objection, defense?
No, Your Honor, but I do not believe that there's probable cause to sustain the allegation that it's possession with intent to deliver.
Okay, so give me 1 moment. So then, count 2 is possession of MDMA, ecstasy, $1,000 bond. Total is $3,500. What say you, defense, with regard to count 1, unless you have a probable cause for count 2 as well?
No, Judge, not as to count 2. It appears that was found within his pocket and tested positive.
Okay.
And the cocaine itself that was found is 11 crack cocaine rocks, which in and of itself might constitute possession of cocaine, but does not constitute possession of cocaine with intent to sell. There's no indication that Mr. Thomas is in possession of the kind of funds one would expect to see from someone who is selling cocaine. They're not individually packaged for sale. It is merely a possession of 11 field-tested positive rocks, which could very well be for personal use. And there's no indication that he's seen attempting to sell anything or engaged in any kind of hand-to-hand transactions. Just barely on its face, the possession of this amount of cocaine does not support an intent to sell.
What say you, State?
Your Honor, the state agrees that the charge should be possession of cocaine. Currently, as defense mentioned in the PC, it doesn't state any hand-to-hand transactions or any packaging.
So you agree that it's just simple possession of cocaine?
That's correct, Your Honor, but the state is asking that the bond amounts remain in place for count 1, $2,500, and count 2, $1,000, and that's because he currently has pending cases in front of Judge Bailey on delivery of cocaine, and his priors in 2013 were possession of cocaine, where he pled no contest and received time served. He also has a serious 2015 case where he pled no contest and received 23 months in state prison, and that was a robbery with a weapon, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, also I was handed by pretrial services, case number 18007641, CF10A. Says the defendant is currently being supervised by pretrial services in the above style case. Defendant was rearrested today for the two charges we just mentioned. It actually is going to be possession of cocaine. All right, what say you, defense?
Judge, in speaking Mr. Thomas, he's 26 years old. He's been here his whole entire life. The good is he just got a job about 1 week ago. He's working at a car wash, so he's been employed for 1 week. He lives with his mother in Pompano Beach. She just recently went through a major back surgery, so he's helping her out while she gets back on her feet. Right now, they're on housing assistance, and she is on disability, Judge. Judge, I do understand as far as this, he is currently out on pretrial release on a drug offense, but I'd ask you at this time, he's not going to be able to afford any sort of monetary bond. I'd ask you at this time to consider releasing him, but in a heightened form of supervision. I'd ask you, and this is for Mr. Thomas, he wanted me to ask the court if the court will consider releasing him on the case that's currently before you right now, and on the case that he's currently out on pretrial on level 1.
Your Honor,
Well, hold on. I'm looking at his the file in the case that's pending that I just mentioned, the 187641. And I see a notice of the state's intent to have the court declare him as a habitual felony offender. Go ahead, State.
And Your Honor, I was just going to note, while certainly under the case law, the court really couldn't consider how much crack cocaine was in his possession as proof of possession with intent. Certainly, it's something the court can consider that he was allegedly in possession of 11 field-tested positive crack cocaine rocks for bond in consideration that he's out on delivery of cocaine.
All right, the question is, do I put him back on a GPS with this bond amount? I'm inclined to do that.
Well, Your Honor, we would object. The issue isn't that he didn't go where he was supposed to, or he went somewhere he was supposed to. The issue is he committed a new law offense.
All right, what say you?
Judge, Mr. Thomas, I did tell him what level 1 entails. It's basically lockdown. He has found guilty of this. This is just a means of assuring his where he is and his basically him being able to return to court and assuring the safety of the community. If he's basically on house arrest, he's going to be to himself and be there for his mother. So I'd ask the court to consider modifying the case that he's out on pretrial to level 1 and placing him on level 1 lockdown on this new law offense.
One can't sell drugs from their own home.
All right, so in case number 187641 CF10A, court's going to do on the deliver cocaine. It was initially a $2,500 bond. Court's going to make it a $4,000 bond. Possession of cannabis, all ROR. On the instant charge, I'm going to do a GPS level 2. Court finds probable cause, by the way. I'm going to do $1,000 bond on 1, $1,000 bond on 2. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Your total bond is $6,000 GPS.
Is that a revocation of his pretrial release, Judge?
Yes. Thank you. Ryan Davidson.
Mr. Davidson, come on up, please.
Did you have an opportunity to speak to that lady? I suppose we got information. Okay. Okay, Mr. Davidson, good morning, sir. You have driving while license is suspended, third or subsequent offense, $750 bond. Count 2 is expired motor vehicle registration over 6 months. First offense. Court does find probable cause. Do we have a driving record on him? Yes. Thank you. All right, so the court finds probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, it's being Mr. Davidson. We're asking for the court to consider releasing him on pre-trial release. He's 41 years old, been here in South Florida now for about 30 years. He lives in Margate with the roommate. His share of the rent is $650 per month. He's working. He works for a company called Living on the Edge. He's been there 3 years. It's a landscaping tree service company where he can make about $120 per day. From what Mr. Davidson advised me, his last time he was arrested was approximately 2 years ago. Judge, Mr. Davidson advised me right now he doesn't have the financial means to post a bond. So what he's asking the court to consider is releasing him on pretrial release.
No objection from the state, Your Honor.
Okay, standard pretrial supervision then. Good luck, sir. Report within 20, hold on, sir. You have to report within 24 hours of your release to pretrial services. They close at 5, but you have to get there by 4 the latest. I'll have you calling in 4 days a week, no reporting in person, no reporting after court. But you do have to report the first time in person. Okay? Good luck to you. Anthony Stillwell.
You're being processed out. But you have to go there.
Can I have his driving record? Thank you, madam. Okay. So, Mr. Stillwell, good morning, sir. You have driving while licenses. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. You have driving while licenses suspended, $750 bond as a habitual offender. Failure to wear safety belt, not for magistrate, engine run, or key in ignition. The court does find probable cause. He has a lot of failures to appear. 5-year revocation, 6/4/18. This was at 12:17 a.m. At midnight. Okay, what say you, state, if anything?
Your Honor, we're asking that the bond remain in place. He has a pending DWLS habitual offender as well.
Okay. What say you, defense?
Judge, he's 40 years old. He's on disability. He lives with his parents. From when Mr. Stowe advised me, he doesn't have the phone number memorized to his parents, and he doesn't have his phone here on the property in order to contact his parents to let him know he was arrested and post his monetary bond. So he's asking the court to consider releasing him pre-trial release.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave the pending 750 in place. He has a horrific driving record. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is Warwick Haggins.
I believe he's medical loan, Judge.
Okay, we're going to have to do a probable cause. He was arrested 12/16. Any objection to probable cause?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, PC found in absentia for counts 1 through 4. Defendant to be brought to court for bond and release conditions.
Looks more like an attempted escape to me. Oh, I think it is an attempted escape. Yes.
It says attempt to escape. That's okay. Next one is Alejandro Evangelista.
Judge, I'd waive his presence and ask the court to set a bond on count 1, which is a misdemeanor.
Your Honor, I'm going to object because my concern is the nature of the offense on count 1. He needs to be instructed by the court to have no contact.
Where is he?
He's in North Broward. He's going to be a medical reset.
For how long, you think?
I don't know.
Let's wait
Can we
till
go off the
tomorrow.
record for a second?
Your Honor, but just to note, he's also being held no bond on a VOP, so
Right.
that's keeping him in regardless.
All right, let's go off for one moment. Hi.
Hello.
All right, Alejandro Evangelista, I'm going to leave it up to you. You want to bring him this afternoon or you want to bring him this morning? We'll do him first thing. But you got to remind me.
Okay. Well, we had him down earlier and...
Well, you should have asked like you normally do. So do you want to try?
No, it was before we had even started because, I was trying to get him on the phone to speak to Mr. before we start. So...
We did talk pretty much before we started.
All right, so why don't we do this? Do you want to try this afternoon or in the morning? I'll leave it up to you, Deputy McCoy.
I think the morning will probably be better.
Okay, then fine. Then we'll reset for tomorrow in the AM. All right?
Okay.
If something changes... Well, forget about letting me know. Let's just try tomorrow. And if not, then I'll reset them in the morning and We'll have to figure something out. He needs to be brought to court. These are really serious charges, so.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, bye-bye.